In this video, I'll be talking about JavaScript objects. Okay, so I'll start by creating my index.html. I'll start by creating my HTML structure. Then inside my HTML structure, I will create two elements. One is header one. The reason I want to use header one just for displaying the output on the browser. So I'll say header one and give it an ID. I'll give this element an ID of you can name it anything you want. Let me just give it h1. Okay, now the next thing I will be creating in my body element is script, because I will be writing my JavaScript in this my JavaScript file, so I have to link it to my HTML. So to do that, just enter the first tag of script element and give it an attribute of src, which stands for source. Then give it a value. The value you'll be giving to it will be the name of your file, which is your JavaScript file. Mine is index.js, index.js. So it's now linked. Let me do something. Let me just put this and see how big it looks. Let me refresh this page. I think this test makes sense. I think it makes sense. Or should I? Let me leave it this way. Let me not waste time. Okay, I think the output will be okay. So inside this place now, to write a JavaScript object, all you have to do, you have to create you can use const or variable, but let me just start with variable that we have already covered. Say variable, you can say var the name of your variable. Let me use var something like a person. Person can work. Let me say var person, then assign it equal to, then it say equal to, open this curly braces. So anything you're writing inside here now will be the person's the person. You make this variable an object. Once you have put this now and start writing things inside, it will be a this person now will now become an object. Okay, let me just do that. To do that, first of all, let me just write something like let me start by saying a person will have a name. Let me give the person a name. Let me say name, and then I'll put a colon here, colon, and then I'll say equal to, let me give it a, let me say his name is Matthew. Let me say his name Matthew. It will be inside a string because it's a string. The name is supposed to be a string. I'll say Matthew. Say Matthew. Why is it giving me reg ls? Like I have to space it out or what? Why is it giving me this error? Let me put comma here and see whether it's the issue. Why is it giving me this? Okay, I'm not supposed to put equal sign. Yes, yeah. When you overcode, you start forgetting something. So let me duplicate this. Okay, let me not duplicate. Let me just let me say enter. Then another thing I'll giving it a, let me give this person an age. Yeah, Matthew. Let me say Matthew Boras. Just anything. Don't even know what that. Let me just say Matthew Boras. Let me say Matthew Boras. Okay. So the next thing I will now do is to give the person age. Give the age attribute, the age. Let me give the person this object an age. So I will now put colon. Then I'll give it will be a number, not a string. Let me say the person is 20 years. Okay. So I put my comma. Let me say comma. Then the next line, let me say what the person likes, or let me say the person's what will I do now? Let me do it this way now. Let me say the person's hobbies, or I think hobby will make sense. Let me say hobbies. I think it will really make sense if I use say hobbies. Let me put colon. Then I will now put it inside. Then this one I will use array to put the person, because it's hobby, so it's a lot of things the person will like. So I'll put it inside this array box. So let me say let's say the person like let me say swimming. Swimming is one of his and it will be inside string. It will be a string value. It says swimming. I think this m is it supposed to be one m or be double m? Swimming. can correct me if I'm wrong. Then I put a comma. Then the next person, the thing the person likes doing is, let's say, like let's say let me say playing games. It's supposed to be inside a string. Playing games, playing games. Okay. Then next thing, let me put my comma. Then the next string will be, let me say coding. Let me leave coding. Let me say something like drinking. Yeah, the person maybe said the John like drinking. Okay. Now, I've given the person a hobby. The hobby now is inside an array box. Okay. The next thing I will give to this person is that I want to say is that this object can have its own function. Okay. It can have its own function. Let me create a function here. Let me give this person, let me say, let me give it a function. Let me say person function. Let me use a descriptive word. Let me say person function. Let me say person underscore function. Let me say function, person function. Let me put a colon here. Am I missing anything? I'm supposed to put a comma here before I start this one. Okay, then person's function. I will now give it. I'll now give the person a function. Let me say, let me write a simple function. Let me say this function now. The function name will be details. Let me just use details. Let me say something like details, so that what I want to do, I want to create a function that when it's called, it will print out the whole of the person's details. Or should I even give it? Let me do it this way. Let me just use details, so it will print out the person's whole details. Although if you call person will also print everything. Okay, the person will also print everything. But let's just do it. I will know what to do. Let me call it detail. Then open the parameter. Create a parameter. Then open our statement block. Then inside there, I will give the function, this person's function. I'll give it parameter. Let me take this thing up. Let me take this thing so it will be it will be in the same line. So it will be in the same line. Okay. So I will now give this person I will give the statement I'll be writing. I will say something like, let me give the statement of let me say should I use alert? I think alert will do this thing. I think if I use a dialog box, it will really do this thing well for me. So it will be different from normal. So when I will calling it, so it will be very, very restrictive. So I will say alert. Alert. Let me open the parameter. Inside this alert, I want to print person uh, person person dot name person dot name. I think I will concatenate it, person dot name plus this, then I will space it out, so there will be space between the name, and then next thing I will now still put my plus sign here. I'll put my plus sign here and also put it here. I'm supposed to remove this thing, supposed to be plus here. Okay, then at the back I will now say person dot person dot age. Then I will also put plus. This plus is just for concatenating the strings, and it will concatenate the string and the number. Okay, so let me put this thing, this double quote. It's used for giving space. Then at the back, I'll now put plus again, plus the last person's property. The person's property again is hobby, so I'll say person. I'll say person dot hobbies. Okay, so inside these hobbies now, uh, it will actually print the hobbies quite alright. But the best way, if you want to target any of the, let me just leave the person home. Then when I want to target any of it, I will now illustrate the index selection. So let me just leave it like this. This is our function now. So the person have a function. Okay, so a person can also have a function if you create a person object. So now to call this our function now, not to call our function, to get the values of our, or let's say the details of our this person. Let's say I want to know the name of this person or anything. Okay, so what I will now do is let me come down here. Since we create a header1 and we want to use it to display our output, what we'll now do is say documents, not this one, document dot get element by id, document.get element by id. Then I will now say open the parameter. I will now use the id name which we use here, which is hash1. It will be inside the double quote, which is hash1. Then dot dot inner html, because we will be sending it to our it will be displaying here. So we'll now set it equal to what we want to display now. So let's say we want to get the person's name. Let's say we want to know this person's name. So what we have to do is say person dot name to print the person's name. You can see Matthew Boras. Okay, we have known the name. Then what if we want to know the person's age? Just say person dot age to print the person's age. You can see 20, which is what we have inside this place. Then what if we want to know the person's hobbies? Just say person dot hobbies. Yeah, it will print out the whole hobbies. You can see swimming, playing game, and drinking. That is the person's hobby. Okay. Then what if I want to target if you want to target anything within the person's hobbies, you can actually say also put that same array box here and then target any of the array. Let me say I want to target the second one. Although we don't know what the person's property what's it called, hobbies is, so you need to print on it. But in case you are curious to know, maybe select the first or the second value. So what we use index, and index count from zero. So we have three properties, three hobbies here. We have swimming, playing games, and the drink, which is um three hobbies. But if we want to use an array which is index to get anything inside this array, it will start from zero. So it will count 0, 1, 2. It will start from zero and count it up. Okay, so if we say something like zero, it will target the drink. No, zero, yeah, the zero is the first one. It will target the swimming. Then if you say one, it will go for playing of games. If we say two now, two is the last one. Okay, you can see say drinking. Okay, so the next thing is this function now. What if I want to call this function now? I want to call the person's function. All I will now do is just say call the person's function. You can see the person's function, the function name for the person's wait, why did I even use this person function? It's complicating this word. Let me say, if I want to call this person's function, I'll use the function name of the person. The name I give the person's function is person function. Okay, so I will now say person function, person function. Here's the person's function. Then I will now open what's it called, our double quotes. What's it called, this our function. Why is it not printing it's supposed to print out the distance? It's supposed to print it out. Why is it not printing it out? It's supposed to print it out. Let me see why. Let me put a bracket and see whether it's from my own side. Let me see how it's not printing. Why? It's supposed to print it out. Oh, no, 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 no. It's supposed to alert. It's supposed to alert it. Okay, it's supposed to alert it. Okay, so if I remove this thing now, let me comment this. Let me grab it. Let me copy it. Control C, and then let me comment this document. Don't get remember. Let me comment it. Control backward slash. Then here now let me paste it here. Control V. Let me call the function person. Okay, I think I did the error. I've realized my mistake now. I've realized my mistake. I'm just targeting the function without calling the person, without calling the object itself. That's my mistake. So what I will now do inside this place now, before I light person's option, I will now say let me clean this thing so let me do it sequentially so it will be understood. So equals to person. Anything you want to access inside the object, you must first of all call the person. When you call when you first of all call the object, then you now use dot to have access to any content of the person. That means I will now say person. I will now say person dot, yeah, person dot. This is the function, person function. Yeah, this is what I want. You can see now it will print out the whole content to print out what is in, but this is not exactly what I want the function to do. I'm supposed to giving it a parameter, so only the function will run. Okay, you can see now the function is running now. You can see what we ask the function to do is to alert person person name, which is the person's name, which is this Boras, plus the person's. It will give this space. This thing is for giving white space, and then it will give space and then add the person's age, which it have added, which is this 20, and then add the person's give space and then add the person's hobbies. So you can see now Matthew Boras 20 swimming, playing game and drinking. Okay, so this is how to do JavaScript objects. So you can create multiple objects and then make sure if you want to access anything inside an object, you must use the object name dot what you are looking for, and then in case if the thing is inside an array, like this our hobby now, like inside this our hobby now, let me do that. What you have to do is person dot hobbies, then you now put that, you put that square bracket. Then if you want to target anything within the array, that if you don't want to target all of them, then if you want to target it by index, just put the index number, let's say 1. It will just print out. It's saying undefined. Undefined. It's supposed to be defined. Why are you telling me undefined? Person's hobby. Let me refresh. It's like you are getting, yeah, it's supposed to work still. So it's now working. So it's saying playing game. So this, if you want to target, if you have an array within the person's this person, the object itself, if you want to target an array with index, use this square brackets and then put your index number, and it will target the value that is in that index, in that object array brackets. Okay, square bracket. So having said this, I think I've come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.